Senior, about to graduate soon. Naturally, I've been applying to a lot of jobs. And I gotta say, there are a lot of clown startups out there. For instance, take Ground Signal. Ground Signal is a company doing optimization for the alcohol industry. And it's just like, why? It's alcohol. It sells itself. Every human civilization has had some form of alcohol, right? The ancient Greeks drank wine, the Babylonians drank beer, modern day frat bros drink White Claw, and my parents drank too much. The Mayflower sailed here with more beer than water. Yeah, they allocated about a gallon of beer per person per day. That's 10 cans of beer. No wonder they ended up 700 miles off course. Apparently the Protestant work ethic tells us to be frugal, work hard, and get wasted every day. So you can imagine why I'm skeptical about a company trying to optimize alcohol sales, right? Like, what are the analytics going to show? Using ground signal technology, we have identified an untapped demographic for the alcohol industry. This group, while rarely consuming alcohol, is highly susceptible to drinking. That's right, Alcoholics Anonymous. So, the mission of this company is clearly very silly, right? But I applied anyways because I realized that working there would be a dream. Because, you know, you could show up to work drunk and call it market research. Or if you're drinking the night before, hey, that's working overtime. You know, and by this point, I've applied to so many shitty startups. Like, I'm pretty sure the only thing you need to do to get VC funding is just be a white guy. I mean, the writing's on the wall, right? VC, very Caucasian. Fun fact for y'all, until recently there were fewer female CEOs than CEOs named John. Apparently, all John needs to do is be like, our new cloud platform is decentralized, AI-driven, and mostly free of child porn. And the VC firms are like, deal. After the meeting, they're just like, hey, Bill, did we just give that company $2 million or $2 billion? And Bill's like, I don't know, but it's okay. I think they mentioned something about software. Now, if you're right enough, you don't even need to get VC funding, right? You can just get a small loan from your parents. Mark Zuckerberg, Michael Dell, Jeff Bezos, they all took loans from their parents. And so did our rightful president, Donald Trump. Now, what you didn't know is that while Jeff Bezos took a $300K loan from his parents were actually teenagers when they had him. Yeah, when Jeff was born, his mother was still in high school and his dad was working in the circus. They divorced 18 months later. So maybe that's why Jeff built a dick-shaped rocket. Even billionaires can have daddy issues. Now, here's the thing. Jeff's biological dad didn't know that Jeff was Jeff Bezos until some random magazine interviewed him in 2014. You'd think he's living under a rock or in a bunker or something, but I'm pretty sure Amazon can deliver there too. Still, could you imagine being Jeff's dad and finding out that your son was the one who destroyed your favorite bookstore? He's just like, fuck, I knew I should have gone to his birthday parties. Meanwhile, Jeff is like, yes, it was me, Dad. I was the one who ruined your weekends forever. You have to give props to his mother, though. Going from a teenage pregnancy to being able to loan your son $300,000, she really learned how to marry better. Now, Jeff's actual father, you know, the one who actually raised him, turns out he's Cuban. So I guess you could say that in an indirect sort of way, immigrants are taking the jobs. Now, Jeff's parents are worth about $30 billion now. They made one major investment in their life and they absolutely nailed it. But I want you to think about that for a second. The most successful investment strategy to date has been to believe in your children. And that's why I want kids. been getting some real wacky news headlines recently. There was this marathon runner who shit herself 7 miles in. And then she just kept running. She wasn't even bothered by it until 21 miles in. And it wasn't because, it's like fucking disgusting. No, she was like, yeah, my legs felt slightly heavier. I recently got an ad for a hypnobirthing educator. So I gave them a call because I've always wanted to trick my male friends into thinking they're pregnant. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed by that. The Pentagon failed its 5th audit recently. In fact, the Pentagon has failed every audit. There are just $2.1 trillion that are just gone. Some guy's like, hey Bill, did we order 200 drone strikes this year, or was it 2,000? Bill's like, but what matters is the bigger picture, and the fact that we need to cover it up. Yeah, Bill used to work in DC. They both hate reporting losses, yet caused so many of them. Again, there are $2.1 trillion that are just gone. Apparently, when the Pentagon can account for 60% of their budget, it's bad accounting. But when someone can account for 60% of someone else's age, they're suddenly a pedophile. Gotta love the pedos, or, used to. They aren't interested anymore. I've been using dating apps recently. Pretty single, and well, I already explained the pedo thing. I've been using dating apps recently. Not that I, particularly want to. I'm just bad at talking to people in real life. Like, sometimes it feels easier to talk to a crowd than to an individual. Granted, it's a lot harder for a crowd to file a restraining order, so you guys have that going for you. Please don't set a new legal precedent after tonight. Been using dating apps, not successfully, so I turned to some of my friends for help. I tried to get one of my friends to show me his profile, but he didn't want to do it. And, I get it, right? Like, if I was as hideous as my friend, I wouldn't even have pictures of myself, let alone a whole-ass dating profile. I just don't get why my friend wouldn't show me his profile, but was willing to put it on the internet for complete strangers to see. Like, I just called him hideous in front of everyone here, and I'm still less judgmental than the women on these apps. One last joke, one last news headline for you guys. So, Carolyn Bryant died recently. You guys probably don't know who she is. Way back in 1955, Bryant falsely accused a 14-year-old boy, Emmett Till. And unfortunately, Till was lynched several days later. Now, obviously, Bryant was a massive piece of shit, but her actions ended up sparking the civil rights movement. So, maybe she was just doing some David Spicer level thinking. Thanks. I'm Shashvat. That's all I have for you.